The following program is meant for adult audiences only. If you are easily offended, you are choosing to be offended by continuing to watch. If jokes upset you, whether bad or good, you might end up crying. Being a bitch in life is difficult, I imagine, but you must find a way to continue. For all the haters and lurkers, hope you enjoy the show. For the Bigot Army, enjoy the show. Don't be a pussy.
そうだ。テレビつけてもいいぞ。
冒険アニメ
よりによって
サイレンサー付きの拳銃だと。
ワクワク。
Here we go! Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. It's the way of life.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call
the Grifter Zone.
Good moo! Oh, you found your moo!
My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is.
Man, I want to get drunk in a hotel room with you.
That might be taken
Phrasing.
out of context.
Gay, gay, gay.
Oh. Hypno. How is it my fault? What? The bragging gifted this and I'm immediately called an anti-Semite? Come on, dog.
Bruh.
What are these characters? Nazi furry? Hypno, why would you do this to me? Said, welcome to Goonergate. Protect your booty hole.
What's up, nerds? It's Alyssa Mercante, Kotaku senior editor, and
nobody even wants you here.
And I would take her to Chili's, maybe. You know, like, genuinely, I just want the best for her. Genuinely.
Listen, if it was consensual and you didn't hate the Jews, I'd fuck the shit out of you. I would.
What did he say? People are gonna clip that. You know that I don't.
Clip it. I know you don't. Come on. But that's the thing. Why can't we have fun?
Bruh.
That's an interesting way of putting. That makes sense.
He's jealous. Fuck yeah. Been knew I was that bitch. I didn't need a man to tell him to fuck.
And Hypnotic again, member for 1 month. Thank you. Enjoy First Berserker. What's that black stuff between an elephant's toes? Slow natives. Wait.
Wild.
Yeah. On the other end of the spectrum. Yes.
Okay.
I'd say that goes out of dad into dark, but sure, yeah.
Definitely dark.
Somebody replies and it says, "This is embarrassing." And he says, "Not as embarrassing as your take on trans kids. It was not researched. It was cruel and it had no basis in facts. So forgive me if I don't take all your takes that seriously." Who's this person?
Bruh.
Look at the fucking thumbnail. God of Cock Meltdown. Oh my God, look at this. Oh man. Yeah, sure. Trans kids, for sure, man.
Right, but you're giving an opinion on an article with a headline that's inflammatory. So the fact that you're giving an opinion on what's on screen,
Did
can
I
I
focus on the inflammatory nature of the headline?
well, can I assume that everything in this article you would agree with?
You shouldn't assume. It makes an ass out of yourself and me.
Okay, so
down his timeline, you're gonna see a lot of ass and titties. Okay, me on my Twitter timeline, you ain't gonna see none of that. As a matter of fact, like I can show you, I can scroll down my entire news feed on Twitter. Why would you ruin my point? I'm trying. God damn, why would you ruin it? I didn't do that. I don't know who this chick is. Why would you do that? I can't even edit it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Someone you love been canceled? Have you been the target of online harassment because of something you said or refused to be compelled to say by the mob? Did you mistakenly think you could be an individual, form your own opinions, and keep all of your friends?
Titty
Did your social
freakers.
credit score tanked because you had a conversation with, subscribe to, or follow someone who suffers from wrongthink? Have you been called a literal Nazi because you think taking care of one's physical health is important? Have you tried apologizing for your transgressions only to find out you actually poured gasoline on the they-them flames? Have you ever had a politically incorrect thought or, heaven forbid, made an off-color joke? Well, we here at the Office of the Cancelled are here for you. As a member of the club, we offer exclusive trading cards, flak jackets, lapel pins, access to bomb shelters, as well as audio tracks from based artists that are sure to pump you up for a day at the range and get some of that much-needed two-way therapy. Remember, folks, you're only canceled if you let yourself be canceled, and every one of those collectivist NPCs can go fuck themselves.
Eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat.
I'll wait some time because the longer we wait, like the more realistic it'll be, you know, when he comes back to life. The touch of the black man in a woke story. The God hand shining down, shining upon thee. White man as you lay down. Cis white man and couple in background. Understand the power of a black man is a God hand.
Pro-black Twitter!
I breathe life into you. One touch is not enough from greatness. One touch from the black man. Watch me do it again. Kneel and be amazed at the touch of the black man. I bring life. I bring life.
Pro-black Twitter hoes!
That's right! That's right!
Robocock, don't clip that, no!
Bruh.
Oh God, that's getting clipped.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Oh shit. I was doing so good tonight too.
Drops, retard. Robocock.
All right. Look at that, man. We started on time for 3 streams in a row. I'm going to start accepting apologies at some point. People are like, oh, he's going to be late and gay. Mind you, this is 3 in a row. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Hypnocast. That's right. We are live, boys. We're going to dive down the rabbit hole that is known as the internet. But before we do that, boys, you got to bring it in. Come on, get close. Hurry up. Look at the chat. Look at the chat. Come on, get in close. Come on, hurry up, man. Hurry up, man. The fatties be keeping us down. They be keeping us down, man. Hurry up. Come on, let's go. We gotta hug it out, man. Come on. What is this? What is this? What's today's what is today? I don't even know what today is. Today is what? Wednesday? Wednesday. It's Wednesday, guys. Come on. We gotta get over the hump. We gotta get over the hump. All right, listen very closely. If you're watching on YouTube, like the stream. I know it's crazy. Come on. It's almost as if we do this every day. If you're watching on Rumble, like the stream. If you're watching on Twitter, like the post. And if you are watching anywhere else, I have a message sponsored from Pink Guy.
Following Pokemon, I think everyone would say,
Shut the fuck up.
You already know how it goes, boys. Like the stream. Like the stream. All right, man. Can I get a mic check, please? Mic check, titty check, balls check. What are we checking today? What are we checking today, man? It's a lot. We got a lot we got to go over. We got a lot we got to go over, man. We got, oh, man. Jason Schreier. Oh, we're going to talk about his Dragon Age story today. Oh, man, I've been waiting for this all day. I've been literally waiting for this all day because this is like, how do you live with yourself? I mean, I don't even know. It's one thing to be wrong. It's another thing to be a retard. And I feel like that is what Jason Schreier is. But we're going to go over that. Anyway, we're going to talk about a lot of things today. What are we checking? Purple stuff check? Fair enough. McDonald's is always hiring check? I agree. Mind's Eye check? Listen, come on. Stop. You had me for 2.5 hours playing Mind's Eye. Okay? I need recovery from Mind's Eye, which is why the name of the bank is Recovery from Mind's Eye today, all right? Let's not bring that up here. Titty check? Absolutely. Always. Love the chat check? I agree. Always. Fresh baked ghost pepper and cheddar bread check. Nice. Sounds interesting. For the femboys in the chat check. That's different. Hypnotic jiggle physics check. Never. Most peaceful arson check. There you go. Stellar boober check. Yeah, we're going to look at that, actually. Our truth is back check. Yeah, we already know that. Get woke, go broke. To the top of the charts. I'm fucking retarded check. Sounds about right. Smash JT tweet making it onto Sky News check. Yeah, I saw that. It's pretty ridiculous. Mind's Eye is a torture device check. Almost. Hypno chair check. Never. Truck has one nut check. That's different. Fire check. Okay. No chair cult check. I agree. Let's see. No. McDuggan's wellness check. He's dead. Peaceful riots my ass check. I agree. No apologies check. I agree. F smash JT. I agree. All right, guys, listen. Our ESG scores are at their maximum. We are fully funded. Like the stream. Let's go, man. Let's go. We're going to do the Bigot Army roll call. Let's see who is in this chat right now, aside from former Kotaku urinalists. People that played Mind's Eye and Rage Quit. And everybody else that swears they don't watch the content, and yet they always do somehow, some way. We got Fabian Regalado, Jeremiah Maxwell, The Devil Max, Kage, Il Vampiro Borracho. We got Secret Final Boss. We got You Missed, saying playing Stellar Blade with nude mods right now. Jesus Christ. That's amazing. We got Louis Messina, Randall the Vandal, Black Tailgate, Nexus Nocturne, Yamato 85, K the Gwinnett Queen, War Maniac 209, Rye Guy over on Rumble, Dementia Sweets, Mr. Melancholy, Sam Fisher. Oh, come on, man. Mind's Eye Part 2, seriously? You didn't enjoy the torture the first time? You got to get some extra? This is killing me, man. Uber, Jay Sims, Louis Messina, Angmar WK, Faye, You Missed again. Rye Guy again on Rumble, Yamato 85 again, Adam Petro, Jeremy U, Revu. We got Dylan B, Mikey S17, Triple J Jr., Soul Reaper 2078 says, my time is limited tonight, but here. I'm glad you're here. We got Snooty Mims over on Rumble. We got Jeremiah Maxwell, XL Tomahawk, Ashton Tyler. Should I play Mass Effect? Yes. Marius, Fluffy Murder Machine, Melody Johnson, Oliver Adam, War Maniac 209, Commander Sonok, Adam Petro. We got Sonia Lissette, Radio Chim, Matthew with the hero, please. Frenchie07, what's up? Stidrox, Dak, catching it live for once. Good, welcome. Everybody say hello to Dak. Nick Havoc, Zombied, Valerian. What's up, Valerian? We got King of Mumbles. What's up? We got Felsteph. We got Vera Dark is here with the black heart emojis. Now that is shocking. We got Nexus Nocturne, Jay Sims, Angry Wolverine 2060, Odin. What's up, Odin? We got Black Tailgate. We got Glowmide Prince. We got Scooby Pup. What's up, Scooby Pup? We got Randall the Vandal again. Adam Juneman over on Rumble. We got BioT Wolf 19 saying playing some games. We got, let's see, The Voice in the Water. House Stellar Blade. I haven't played it yet on PC. John Bon Zombie. Closer, you fuckers. Angmar WK. Who else we got? Let's do 4 more people and that's it. 4 more people is all we can afford to call out. And then we need to continue with the content, boys. We got Shadowcat. We got Adair Soto. We got Frag Monkey. Kasami 47 Crip. We got Hypnos Cat. The Gaming Mason, the High Priest of the Cult of McDuggins. We got Scrap Gamer. We got Briere. Thwarted Geek. John Johnny. DJ the Dude says, hey-oh. D Rice Raid Fanfics YouTube. What's up, man? Blue Octopus, he says, lurking tonight, reading manga. No, what she really means is that she's reading hentai and that she's gooning. And she doesn't want anybody to get in the way of her DJ skills. If you catch my drift. Single player enthusiast. Raptor Kratos 85. Picasso. Mike 17. Octuaz KFP. And then last but not least, we got Shiki Baby. We got Screw Your Feelings. And we got Adam Petro again. And Mookie fucking Dookie over on Rumble with a slice of King of Mumbles. And I'm a white boy. Now that's funny. That's the proper one to end on. All right, guys, listen. I called out as many people as I possibly could. Sacrifice your fellow Bigot Army member and let's see who is going to get the massive money shot today. You know what's so funny? So I was talking in the you know, like the Bigot Verse general chat that I have with, like, you know, Leon, basically all the SNH people that we just talk to each other and stuff. And we were talking about how YouTube is like fucking with people and keeping like videos suppressed and everything. And I specifically mentioned a comment. I know Leon's not watching right now, but it'll be funny if he was. I specifically mentioned a comment. I was like, you know what drives me crazy? What drives me crazy is to get comments of people that are, and this is no offense to Sam Fisher. I'm not mad at you. I'll get comments from people and they'll be like, hey, Hypnotic, dude, did you hear the latest breaking news? The Marathon lead art designer was fired. And you know why I hate comments like that, or it makes me upset? It's because it means YouTube didn't do its job. Because that means that the video that I put out at 11 o'clock in the morning today, you did not see, unfortunately. Because you weren't informed. I already know because I already did a video on it, Sam Fisher. I actually talked about it last night. And it wasn't the art director, it was the creative director. Anyway, all right, enough about venting. Let's see who we got. We got Dylan B saying no Diddy. That's it. Just no Diddy. That's risky. That's risky. No Diddy. Times 10 to go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gaming Wolf 87 says no Jaffe, no Diddy, no SBI, no Uno, no Western Gaming Media Protection, full shield mode on times 3 to go down. 1, 2, 3. Louis Facina, no Diddy. Do we still care about Jaffe? No Mercanti, no Slanesh, no Tazesh. Psych barrier. Nurgle shall guide the money shot to go down times 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, man. Oh,
holy shit.
Jeremiah Maxwell is catching the money shot in the middle of trying to hug the chat. The man is just trying to spread love right now. And he gets money shotted. Man, the chat is evil. You guys had the opportunity to absolutely glaze this woman in the chat right here. You could have glazed the ever-living shit out of Vera Dark, but unfortunately, you decided to get Jeremiah Maxwell. So congratulations, Jeremiah Maxwell. You are the recipient of the money shot today.
What the?
Like the stream, boys. Like the stream. That was a big one. That was a big one. Congratulations, Jeremiah Maxwell. All right, guys, listen. So we got a lot we got to talk about today, man. We got a lot we got to talk about. We got crazy, and it's so ironic that Vera Dark is here because I actually have a tweet of hers pulled up that I thought was amazing that I'm going to showcase in one of the segments today. But we're going to talk about Dragon Age: The Veilguard because now we've come full circle, right? We've come full circle. It always starts off with the game is amazing. You're just a bigot. That's why you don't like it. Everybody loves it. It's doing great. It's doing amazing, right? That's how it starts. And then it transforms little by little into, well, it's actually not doing that great, but it's still a success because I say so. And then it turns into, well, it's actually not doing that great at all. And it's not a success, but we still like it. And you're bigoted if you don't like it. And then it turns into, well, the game's not doing that well, but the studio's doing fine. And the studio is going to be okay. And everything's going to be fine. And then that turns into, well, actually, the studio's not doing well. The game's not doing well. But we didn't lie. We actually just don't like it as much as we said in the beginning. And then eventually it all goes down to shit, which is exactly where we're at now, where Jason Schreier has now officially written an article completely backpedaling on his get woke, grow to the top of the charts. Fucking idiot, man. What an absolute fucking idiot. So we're going to go over that. We got some Last of Us Season 3 news that we're going to go over. Neil Druckmann just can't stay shut, and he had to leak some details about what we can expect from Last of Us Season 3. We all know it's going to be the season of Abby, but now he's officially confirmed it for all the normies that don't know any better. We got to talk about some layoffs. We got Ben Studio. Now, Ben Studio, we haven't had an opportunity to talk about them yet. I wanted to talk about them yesterday, but I didn't get time to do it. But Ben Studio has laid off 30% of their staff, and they've made an official statement. You guys are probably asking, well, who is Ben Studio? Ben Studio actually canceled 2 video games. One of them was a live service God of War game, and another one was a no-name live service military shooter. So they basically were trying to make 2 live service games and failed completely. And now they're losing 30% of their staff over it, and they released a statement. So we're going to talk about it. And then we're going to talk about Chris Kindred, obviously. It's been finally confirmed after multiple rumors over the last, year? Maybe more than that. But over the last year, there's been rumors that Chris Kindred is no longer with SBI and has been fired or quit or whatever. And now we got confirmation because not only did he post that he's looking for work, but he also just removed SBI from his Twitter page. And that happened recently. That didn't happen a year ago. He finally just removed it from his Twitter page, his Blue Sky page, and all that stuff. So he is officially gone from Sweet Baby Inc. So we're going to talk about that. I feel like it's important to talk about that. And we're going to go over, yeah, I know, Gamergate 2 is unstoppable. Absolutely. Absolutely. Talk about coming full circle. It started with Chris Kindred, and now he's fired. It's amazing. And we're going to look at Stellarblade. We're going to see how Stellarblade is doing because last I looked, it was over 70,000 concurrent and rising very quickly. Very, very quickly it's rising. So we're going to take a look at that and see how the game is doing. And that's basically it. And of course, we're going to have the Waifu Battle. So listen, we got a lot we got to do today, man. We got a lot we got to do today. But before we do any of that, we got to do the #1 segment on YouTube. We got to do the #1 segment on Rumble. The #1 segment on Twitter. The #1 segment in this fucking universe that makes every single psycho YouTuber, psycho journalist melt down because they can't stand seeing people they hate win. This segment is known all around the world as the pre-stream legend.
Money, print money, cash,
money, wealth,
capitalism, raise a bunch of money, more money, heaps and heaps of money, print money, cash,
money, wealth,
capitalism, raise a bunch of money,
super chat,
money.
As salty as the sea, calling us code names. SJW screaming, but it's money they blame. Burning with envy, they're falling flat. They can't handle the sound of a super chat.
All right, boys. We got the pre-stream legend starting us off with Mr. Melancholy. With a $2 banger, he says that's one arrogant and smug face right there. Sure is, and it ended up with one arrogant and lack of a job. Dragon, with a $5 banger, says New Blackstreet and 8-Bit Eric are saying old Siri and new Siri are the same. No, old Siri is a Trana demon. Stop drinking. They were probably drunk as hell when that happened, most likely. Biot Wolf, 19 with a 5. How did the Hobbit ruin the boxing match? He tried to destroy the ring. God, Jesus. Raging D-Head with a 5. Apparently, Alyssa survived the Chud Pack that was hunting her in LA this past weekend. Was she in LA? I don't even... Do people really follow what this woman does still to this day? Like, is she that interesting to a lot of people? Why the fuck would I care where this bitch is at? Was she in LA? I guess she was what, taking part of the protest and pretending like she was an activist? That's fuck. Like, who fucking cares, bro? I mean, whatever. Anyway, shout out to Raging D-Head. Thank you for the 5, brother. I appreciate you. We got Marius with a 5. In regards to the still ongoing LA riots, let me just say this: no Juan is above the law. Jesus Christ, man. Secret Final Boss with a 2. Baba Booey. Fair enough. Gamer Nurse Gale for a 2, just in time for another Hypnocast. Let's go. Shout out to Gamer Nurse Gale. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And then you got War Maniac 209 with a 2. Says still gay, even if it's not late. Come on, bro. Now you know that's not fucking fair. You know that's not fair. I've been on time 3 streams in a row, and you've doubted me every single stream. You cannot still call me gay if I'm not late. That's not fair. That's not fair. God damn it, War Maniac. Adair Soto gifting 1 Hypnotic membership. Shout out to Adair Soto. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Mr. Melancholy with a 2. Jason Schreier, gaming journalist, #1 slimy weasel. Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. We got Will of the Fans with a $50. He says, once you go live service, you go no service. I would agree with that. For the most part. I mean, there's very few and far between games that are, maintaining their player base. But those games usually are the ones that set the trend. They didn't follow the trend. Like Fortnite. Fortnite, copied another game, but they just did it better to the point where they became the trend. They set the trend, and everybody tried to follow in their footsteps afterwards for the Battle Royale nonsense. Last but not least, on YouTube, we got Raptor Kratos 85 with a 2, says, for the love of money. Shout out to Raptor Kratos, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right, let's move over to Rumble. We're going to switch over to Rumble, man. Rumble's banging today. Shout out to Rumble. Snooty Mims held it down damn near by himself at the beginning, because we got Snooty Mims with a $20 banger.
My hands are shaking, but I'm still shooting. I'm still getting the headshots. It's like boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot.
Snooty Mims says Hypnocast for the win. We at Rumble are small in numbers, but we got heart. Hail Hypnotic, hail Rumble, hail chat. Let's go. Shout out to fucking Snooty Mims, man. $20 banger right at the start. I appreciate that, man. You absolute legend. We are currently at, what do we have for the tiers so far? I lose track half the time. What are we at? We are at 379 tier 1s in a row and 65 tier 2s in a row. We are getting closer and closer to 400 tier 1s in a row. That is wild. That is wild. Shout out to you guys for holding it down. I appreciate you, man. And then we got a couple of more snuck in on YouTube. We got the Gaming Mason, the High Priest, the Cult of McDuggins. 485 says, got the best news ever. My oldest friend from the Navy told me today she's breast cancer free. That is fucking awesome, my guy. That is awesome. How can I celebrate this properly? Let me see. Let's go, Mucha Lucha. Here we go! Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. It's the way of life. Mucha. Shout out to you, man. Congratulations to your friend. That is badass. Appreciate that, man. And thank you for the 5. We got Alucard with another 5. Chris Kindred looks like a black version of that evil goth kid from Lollipop Chainsaw. That's insane. That's insane. Shout out to Alucard. That's funny. We got Diz the Jizz for 11 months of legendary status. Says, what does a baby computer call his father? Data. Oh man, this is getting rough, boys. This is getting rough. I got to tell you, man. I'm not gonna pull a DSP on you. I'm not gonna rage quit, but I'm just saying it's getting a little rough out there in these streets with these dad jokes. It's getting a little rough, man. Shout out to Diz, man. 11 months, bro. That is badass. One more month, and you become a Super Saiyan 3. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for that. All right, boys. We're gonna get into the content now. We are fully caught up everywhere. Thank you guys so much for the pre-stream support. After every segment, I'm gonna cover super chats, so I'll make sure to get to them shortly after. And obviously, if you guys are unaware, we have been doing video segments inside of the streams now, and then I follow them up with live segment talks about the subject. So make sure you guys stick around for that and don't be gay. All right, so really quick, let's just do a fast topic. This is not a video segment. We're going to follow up on Stellar Blade. So Stellar Blade officially released today for those of you that are, curious about it. And I just refreshed this not that long ago. I mean, I could refresh it again. When I looked at this initially, it's at 72,246 players, which is fantastic, by the way. I had estimated this game was going to be anywhere between 50 to 100,000. I didn't think it was going to necessarily break 100,000, but then again, I mean, you don't really know because we are in Wednesday right now. It's Wednesday, so obviously for the weekend, it could still have an opportunity to hit 100,000. But these are some fucking, no pun intended, these are stellar numbers, man. Considering this game is just a re-release of a game that came out a while ago on PS5 already, it's clear that a lot of people were waiting to play this game on PC, and we're probably going to just see the number keep rising and rising and rising and rising. People are excited to play this game. They've been waiting for this game. People are playing this game with a whole bunch of insane mods right now. I had somebody talk about playing the game in the chat right now with a nude mod. I think Sonia's playing this game right now with the pregnant mod because she's Latina and she's always pregnant. So it's pretty insane. But everybody's enjoying the game right now, and I can't wait to see more. I haven't played the game yet. The initial plan was to boot up the game today. But it wasn't live by the time that I played Grifcast, and a lot of people wanted me to play Mind's Eye from last night, so I started playing that. We're gonna obviously finish that, but I'm gonna get to Stellar Blade as soon as possible, because I've been wanting to play this on PC for the longest time. Gamer Nerd says their new model for the DLC outfits looks stunning. By the way, I'm sure it does. It plays so smooth. Worth the wait. Yeah, I'm excited to play this game on PC with uncapped FPS, and I'm not held down by a fucking PS5. How was Mind's Eye, bro? If I talk about Mind's Eye, I'm gonna be here all stream. If you want to see my Mind's Eye thoughts, just watch the Hypnotic live stream. It's live right now. You can watch the playback. You'll find out very quickly what that game's about. It's not necessarily bad, but it damn sure is not necessarily good either. It's an interesting thing. Check out Yoon Solwa, their DLC outfit model. I will in a bit. It runs great on Steam Deck. Yeah, so I'm hearing that Stellar Blade runs pretty good on Steam Deck, which is fantastic. That is great. Great to know, because I would love to play Stellar Blade on Steam Deck for sure. Okay, so that's basically the news. Let me just refresh, see what's going on. Holy fuck, it just went up 2K. It just went up 2K by refreshing. So this game is clearly like people have been waiting to play this game. This is great news. So chances are on the weekend, like I said, it's going to hit 100K most likely, which that would be shocking to me if it passes 100K. I didn't see this being a game that was going to pass 100K. I thought this is exactly where it was going to be. But that's great, man. Let it keep going. Let it keep going. This is going to make the urinalist melt down. Especially, oh my God, if Stellar Blade passes Dragon Age the Veilguard on PC, oh, they're not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy. It's already destroying Avowed. It's already destroying all of their fucking games that they've been praising all year long. Yeah, this is going to be good. I didn't underestimate Stellar Blade. I mean, it's exactly where I thought it was going to be. 50 to 100,000 is where I thought it was going to land. I would be impressed if it goes past 100,000. So we'll see. We'll see. It's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We shall see. I can't wait to see. All right, that's just a quick little catch up on Stellar Blade. Eric Jenkins, $4.99 says MonkeyCon 2030. That's insane. That is insane. Diz the Jizz with a 2. What's a necrophiliac safe word? I'm alive. That's insane. That's insane. It already beat Veilguard. I don't think it beat Veilguard. No. Let me see. Dragon Age the Veilguard. Let me see. No, Dragon Age the Veilguard hit 89,000. 89,000. And keep in mind, guys, Dragon Age the Veilguard hit 89,418 concurrent because the amount of streamers that were reviewing this game on day one was insane. People wanted to see what the game was. The controversy fueled this number. And everybody knows that it fueled this number because you would think with this number that the sales would be astronomically higher, but they're not. They're just not. These numbers are fucking false. They're completely false. This is more accurate. 500,000 to 600,000 is more accurate in terms of the copies sold for this game on Steam. And that's after it's been on sale. Like, what's the lowest price for this game? $29.99. This game has been 50% off already. And this game has been out for how long? 7 months. After 7 months, actually shorter than this, but regardless, you get the point. After 7 months, the game has been 50% off. After 7 months, this game's fucking cooked. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this up. I'm going to leave this up for the video segment because we're about to cover the Dragon Age stuff. We're going to do a video on the Dragon Age stuff, man. This shit is just insane. Insane. All right. Let me drink some water. We're going to get into it, man. So, Jason Schreier's up next. Here we go. Jason Schreier's up next. You guys excited for this? I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this. I've been waiting for this video. I feel vindicated. I feel vindicated for this video that I'm about to fucking do right now. Because I've been saying, I'm going to save it for the video anyway. It is what it is. Let me put the chat up on screen. What did he say now? Oh, don't worry. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. I've been waiting for this day. How long has it been? How long has it been? 7 months? I waited for this day for 7 months. All right, here we go. So if you guys are unaware, there has been a recent report that is dropped from good old Jason Schreier, a friend of the channel. If you even want to call him that. Jason Schreier has released an article that is explaining supposedly the truth behind why Dragon Age the Veilguard basically failed. And they're pointing fingers, or I should say he is pointing fingers at pretty much everybody, right? It's everybody else's fault, except for the developers that made Dragon Age the Veilguard. And it's kind of funny that he's doing this because everybody else on that team is also doing the same exact thing. Over the last 7 months since the game released, we have been covering the fact of everybody blaming someone else other than themselves for why this game failed, with EA being the number one target as for why this game failed. But here's the glorious thing about all this. The fact that Jason Schreier is the one that is writing this article makes all of this beautiful because he is the one with egg on his face because of the initial tweet that I got here from Vera Dark that we're going to go over in a second. His initial tweet went all around the world, and it was the biggest example of when a shill is forced to admit that they're an absolute idiot. So before we get into this video, guys, special shout out to all of the 89,700 of you that are subscribed to this channel right now, and the 50% that aren't. Just consider hitting that sub button today. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get into this. So really quick, I want to give a quick shout out to Vera Dark for this particular post. It is beautiful. I mean, this is one of the best posts that I have ever seen. And no, it's not just because it's Vera Dark. It genuinely is one of the most amazing posts. And this is 7 months worth of epicness that we're looking at. So Vera Dark posted on her Twitter page, and she said the following: go woke, go to the top of the charts. And you're probably asking yourself, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, the beautiful thing is that 7 months ago, Jason Schreier, the absolute genius that he is, he thought that he got a massive own on the chuds because he made a post on Twitter at the time, and he said the following: get woke, go to the top of the charts, all because Dragon Age the Veilguard hit an all-time concurrent player count of about, at the time, 59, 60,000, give or take, and then eventually hit 89,000, which we could see on SteamDB over here, 89,418 players 7 months ago, and it never recovered from there. But he said that get woke, go to the top of the charts. He was trying to basically say that Dragon Age the Veilguard was a massive success. That's what he was trying to say. And then come to find out, over time, what ends up happening? They end up saying, oh, it's a success and you're a bigot, and if you don't like it, you're just a racist and all that stuff. Well, now, after a time, it ends up becoming a backpedaling situation. And what he ended up doing was 2 days after this tweet, he deleted this tweet. 2 days after this tweet, he deleted it. And he tried to pretend like it never existed. Every time somebody brings up this tweet to Jason Schreier, he never acknowledges it. So keep that in mind while you're watching this video of how hilarious this story is about to be. So she ends up putting that post because now what happens 7 months later? We have a headline from the same exact Jason Schreier on the 11th today of 2025, 7 months later. It went from get woke, go to the top of the charts to inside the Dragon Age debacle that gutted EA's BioWare studio. The latest game in BioWare's fantasy role-playing series went through 10 years of development turmoil. How did we get here, bro? This is exactly why I tell people that these shills, right? Don't get me wrong. They have access. Of course they have access. They have access because they earned it through a lot of bending over. But the simple fact is, you went from get woke, go to the top of the charts because you wanted so desperately for the chuds to get owned. You wanted so desperately to be right that 7 months later, you look like a damn fool now because you have to admit that the game was a massive failure and you've essentially been running damage control and you lied this entire time, which is amazing. So we're going to get into what Jason Schreier has to say about this game and why all of a sudden he's admitting it's a failure. But I much rather give someone else a click instead of Jason Schreier. So we're going to use Insider Gaming for this particular article. But keep in mind, Insider Gaming is also a hardcore shill website. So we need to take it and kind of like dissect the information as we're going along. So Dragon Age the Veilguard was a disappointment in the eyes of longtime fans of the series and the higher-ups of EA themselves. I love how they're just admitting it now. They're just flat out admitting it now. They're not even bothering trying to lie about it. They're just flat out saying, yup, the game fucking sucked. The game was garbage, terrible. It was a disappointment for longtime fans. Oh, now you care about longtime fans because when those longtime fans were trying to tell you the entire time, hey, this looks stupid. Why are you doing this? You were calling them bigots, transphobes, homophobes, misogyphobes, phobophobes, whatever the hell you want. You were calling them every name under the sun, but now all of a sudden, oh, it's okay to admit that they were right. I just find that to be really interesting. But now in a new report published on Wednesday, there's more insight into what might be to blame for the lackluster release of Dragon Age the Veilguard. Here, I'm going to give you all the insight that you need, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you're watching this video live or you're watching it on the channel after the fact, here's all the insight that you need as to why this game failed. The game was being made by people that didn't respect what made Dragon Age in the first place. They didn't respect it. They wanted to do something different. They wanted to make it into something that it never was, and they ended up releasing it during a time where they thought that everybody was going to love the ideology that was put into the game. But the simple fact is they took too long to release the game. They should have released it in 2020, where every woke idiot would have loved that game. But now, unfortunately, the game released in 2024, where everybody was sick of it. Nobody wanted to hear about it. Gamergate 2 was already happening, and the game got felted by the time it released. That's basically it. The developers are to blame. They can try to push it over to EA as much as they want, but the simple fact is the game was in development hell for 10 years, and the developers and EA are both to blame no matter what. EA probably wanted a live service game. The developers wanted to turn it into something that would benefit their own personal agenda. Both sides couldn't come up with some sort of an agreement. And by the time 7 years rolled around, they had to rush something out. Otherwise, the game was in threat of being canceled. That's basically it. So Bloomberg's Jason Schreier reports that many of the game's problems seem to stem from executive decisions that saw the scope of the game change multiple times. Well, that was pretty obvious at this point, right? I feel like it's obvious to see that EA didn't know what the hell they wanted to do with Dragon Age. The game originally began as a standard BioWare single-player title before EA executives forced a pivot to it becoming a multiplayer live service game, which, by the way, they had released multiple trailers showcasing the game being a live service game, or at least like little gameplay snippets, but they weren't really anything crazy. This game, being a live service game, was doomed to fail from the start. And I'm actually glad they didn't release it, because chances are it probably would have failed more than the garbage of Dragon Age: The Veilguard, believe it or not. But in any case, it becoming a live service game, when that decision was made, creative director Mike Laidlaw, who disagreed with the decision, resigned from the studio. Matt Goldman took over for Laidlaw and began work on the new online multiplayer version of the next Dragon Age title. But after multiple years of working on the version of the game, it was then decided to move back to being a single-player title. Gee, I wonder why. So all that time wasted as a multiplayer game when you could have just put in the time to making it a really good single-player game. And then you wonder why Baldur's Gate 3 is so much more successful than you are. But they're never going to want to admit it. I mean, this is literally... I want to be able to say I told you so, because I feel like this is the one moment where every single fan of Dragon Age has earned the right to tell every single shill that no longer talks about Dragon Age: The Veilguard, by the way. Every single person like Mighty Cuck, Booty Adams, all these people who defended Dragon Age: The Veilguard as if they were mega fans of the franchise and that you're bigots if you don't accept it. Every single one of them, I want to be able to say, I told you so. But the simple fact is they don't care, because they've already moved on to the next host like a virus looking to destroy its freaking host. That's exactly what they are. They don't care about this game. They don't care about the franchise. They only saw it as a useful idiot to utilize for whatever their cause might have been at the time. That's all they've done. But let's continue. So when the switch happened, Schreier says it was done without any sort of reset on development. Instead, development was to continue while changing the game's fundamental structure and recasting the entire story. When it returned to single player, the team at BioWare was given a year and a half to finish, which forced rushed decisions. So, again, whose fault is that exactly? Is it EA's fault? Is it your fault as developers? Could it be both of you? I'm sure you guys weren't exactly on point when it came to making sure that the job was getting done at the fastest that it possibly could have with the best quality it could have. Let's be real. You guys don't seem like the best developers anymore. Unfortunately, BioWare today is not what BioWare of 10 years ago used to be. And this is just, something we have to accept. I've watched this studio dwindle down from what it used to be to what it is now. And I have no faith that they're going to put out a halfway decent Mass Effect game. I know it's coming. I can't wait for it to be here. But to be honest with you, I just don't see how it's possible. It says this strict deadline became a recurring problem. The report reads, the development team would make decisions believing that they had less than a year to release the game, which severely limited the stories they could tell and the world they could build. So it's the fault of EA as to why you can't have in-game decisions that actually affect the story. Aside from a couple of major ones here and there, guys, you can't have anything that affects the story. You guys saw when well, not all of you, but some of you might have seen when I played Dragon Age: The Veilguard live for everyone. I'm one of the few people that actually finished that damn game. And I got to tell you, there's probably all of like 4 decisions that actually matter in the entire game. Everything else is the illusion of choice. And now, supposedly, it's because they just didn't have time. Well, if you didn't have time, that's your fault. That's your fault as developers. That's your fault as publishers with EA. That's your fault. That's not the player's fault. We told you that it's so obvious that the game is undercooked. We told you that the game is missing a lot of things that made previous Dragon Age games what they were. And now, here's the greatest thing about all of this, right? This makes me realize why you guys decided not to instill world states in Dragon Age: The Veilguard. For the first time in a BioWare history, at least recently, you were not able to transfer your save files to continue the story that you worked on in the previous game. World states went completely out the window. And the truth is, it's because you guys just didn't have time. Supposedly. You didn't have time, and you were too lazy to make time. You also had, unfortunately, because of EA, you had certain deadlines that you had to follow, and you weren't able to do it because, well, you didn't have time. So now we know why there is no world states for this game. But in addition to the changes to the game's focus, the tone of the dialogue was a big problem point. According to those who took part in an alpha playtest, the game featured a lack of satisfying choices and consequences. It was also said that the game's tone left people unsatisfied, leading BioWare to create a rewrite of the game's dialogue to include a more serious tone. What? Hold on. Wait a second. How is Dragon Age: The Veilguard the serious tone? When the hell did Dragon Age: The Veilguard ever take itself seriously? You've got to be kidding me. There's no way. Dragon Age: The Veilguard is one of the most unserious stories that I've ever seen. Up until the very end, the only reason why all my characters went the way of the dodo bird was because I ensured that every single one of them had the least optimal chance at survival. That was my decision as a player, because that was one of the only things I had control over. Aside from that, the game's an absolute joke. If you're trying to call this a super serious story, this is anything but a super serious story. What a joke. Lastly, Schreier says that the future of BioWare remains a concern. Within the studio, a team of a few dozen employees are working on the next Mass Effect game, which could be the last chance for the 30-year-old studio to turn things around. It's not going to happen. And also, wait a second, a team of a few dozen employees are working on the next Mass Effect? Wait, so you mean to tell me that less than 100 people are working on Mass Effect? Less than 100 developers are working on Mass Effect? Is that what you're trying to tell me? If that's the case, this game is cooked, because there's no way that these developers at BioWare have the skill to be able to work on a smaller team like that. At least not anymore. There's no way. It's not like these are Expedition 33 developers. These are BioWare, right? Modern day BioWare developers. I don't see them having the skill to be able to do this with a few dozen employees. At least not in any time frame that the game is going to come out within the next few years. I don't see it happening. But in any case, I guess we'll find out what happens in the future. But at this point, all we know is that Dragon Age: The Veilguard is absolutely cooked. This is the fuck around and find out graph that we like to reference all the time. And everything that we have ever said about this game has been true. And I just want to simply speak for as many people as I possibly could that may agree with the following sentiment. But I'm going to just simply say that we told you so. And you guys are lying shills. That's basically it. We told you so. And you need to just take the L at this point, because it went from get woke, get to the top of the charts to the game's a failure. And you guys were right all along. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate you. And if you're not subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe button, like, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. And that's basically it, boys. This game's an absolute fucking joke. This is a joke. This game is a joke. How are we here? How How can you seriously be here? Like, chat, come on. Come on, chat. Chat. How can you be here and expect people not to make fun of you? How can we get an I told you so emote? Should we do that? Should we do an I told you so emote? We definitely can. Shout out to Master the TDS. I think I saw him in the chat. I would love to do a can we told you so I told you so emote. That would be hilarious. War Maniac says I said bye. All right, bye, War Maniac. This is wild. And again, shout out to Vera Dark for this amazing tweet. This is an amazing tweet. I'm telling you, it's fucking fantastic. It is fantastic. I mean, my God, 7 months of I told you so. Wild, man. I have never seen somebody with egg on their face this hard. Never. I have never seen someone with egg on their face this hard. It's incredible. Incredible. So, shout out to Jason Schreier for being an idiot. And shout out to Vera Dark for this tweet. That's fantastic. Look at this. 73,000 views. 3,000 likes right now. He's a little slow, I guess. Oh my God, look at this picture. This picture literally encapsulates everything. Everything. Look at this shit. Oh my God. This is a great meme, by the way. Expedition 33 is a delicious burger. Avowed, I don't even know what the fuck this is. And then Dragon Age of Veilguard is rotten eyeball, socks, nails, cardboard. It's disgusting. All right, let's catch up on Super Chats, and then we're going to get to the next topic, boys. Let's try to get to Tier 1 today to the best of our ability. We got Hath Not Seen for 6 months of legendary status. Go woke, go back to the unemployment line. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I like that. I like that. Shout out to you, man. Alucard with it too. What is a clean freak's favorite anime? Bleach. He just had to fuck it up. He just had to fuck it up. God damn it, man. Just had to fuck it up. Shout out to Alucard for the $2 banger. I appreciate you, man. I'm just fucking with you. And then we got Adair Soto over on Rumble. Adair Soto over on Rumble. The game industry is a joke. So much lies, so much toxic positivity, and so much bending over for the past 5 years. People are now seeing the lies of the journalism, gaming, and it's going to continue. Oh, it is. It is. They're so desperate to make this a thing. And they want control back so much. And have you guys realized something about Blue Sky? You know, it's so amazing because I think Asmongold just did a video on this. And the funny thing is, I was talking to someone like 2 or 3 days ago about Blue Sky and how Blue Sky was basically dying, like legitimately dying. And people are like, wait, what do you mean dying? No, it's fucking dying. It's dying to the point where the people who are using it to avoid Twitter, they don't even want to use it anymore. They're complaining about the lack of likes. They're complaining about the lack of engagement. And it's because you're not going to get it, because the only people that go to Blue Sky are the fucking weirdos that hate X. That's the only reason why they go to Blue Sky. So what ends up happening is these narcissists that all they care about is the engagement, the likes, the retweets, all that stuff. That's all they care about. So if they don't get that, they're eventually going to leave the platform. It doesn't matter how much of an echo chamber it is. They're going to leave. They're going to leave. And that's exactly what's happening. They went to Blue Sky thinking everybody was going to follow. But the simple fact is barely anybody did. And they need that validation. They need those likes. They need those retweets. So they're slowly leaving Blue Sky, which is hilarious. And if you look at Google Trends, you'll notice that Blue Sky has completely dipped, even for a website that most people weren't even using to begin with. It's not like Blue Sky had a massive surge in people anyway. It just completely tanked. It is tanking so hard right now. So, you know, it is what it is, man. We got Ashton Tyler for a 5. Hypno, I download Mass Effect Legendary Edition. What should I expect? Okay, so here's what you're going to expect. You ready? You need to expect one of the greatest gaming experiences that you're ever going to have, with one of the best and most interesting sci-fi stories that you're going to experience in modern gaming, with some of the most fun gameplay, especially in the second and third game, that is going to be so memorable, right? And then you're going to get to the end. And then you're going to get to the end. And then you're going to get to the end. And this will be you. And then, and then we will welcome you into the cult of angry Mass Effect players. I will welcome you with open arms, and I'll be like, welcome, brother. Welcome, brother. Oh, man. Oh, man. That fucking series, bro. Oh. One of the greatest sci-fi gaming experiences of all time, only for them to absolutely fuck it. Welcome, brother. I just want you to remember that when you play the game. All right. Although to be fair, you're not going to have the same level of anger that a lot of us OG Mass Effect bros have, because we were lied to by Casey. Casey specifically told us that the ending was going to be based on our choices. He specifically told us that the ending was not going to be a 1, 2, 3 option. And then we bought the game. We got to the end, and I'm going to let you figure out the rest. But thank you so much for the 5, brother. Enjoy your time. It truly is an amazing experience. It really is. It's an amazing experience until the end. Alucard with a 2. What? It's just a Krabby Pat. Oh my goodness. The fuck? Raptor Kratos with a 5. I don't even think they knew how to get the import save files to work. I don't think half the people worked on the other games. You're probably right. You are probably right. You're probably right. They don't even understand how the fuck to transfer over anything. They don't. These are not real developers, bro. Not anymore, unfortunately. Then we got a Dare Soto with $1. To this day, I'm still mad at those 3 colors. Exactly, bro. Anti-Federalists playing with $1. We don't like them. Their colors. Yeah, that's what we got. We got colors. And then we got a DLC that's like, oh, we're going to fix this. How do they fix it? They add like 3 cutscenes. Fucking assholes. I hate them. Oh, man, Cad for $4.99. Thank you, Hypno, for the DAI story. I screamed at the sky because of what happened to BioWare. That was when Cranky Cad was born. All right, so something good came out of BioWare. If I got Old Man Cad, and if I got to beat Old Man Cad the way that he is, old and angry, I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right, boys, let's get to the next topic, man. I'm tired of looking at this picture. It's just nasty. Oh, I get it now. I get that super chat. That super chat where it's talking about the Krabby Patty. They're talking about the last picture. I get it. Okay, I get it. My bad, boys. Whoopsie. I'm a little slow. All right, let me drink water. Hold on, and then we're going to get to the next topic. What should we do next? Let's talk layoffs. I want to talk layoffs, man. Let's talk about Ben Studio. It's gonna be good. More live service bullshit. I just drank water. Sorry. Oh, and we'll do SBI after that. We're gonna do layoffs, and then we're gonna do SBI after that. Because I forgot to talk about this, and I want to talk about this because this has to do with God of War. And I mean, just layoffs in general. I love talking about layoffs. I love when these studios fuck around and find out. It is genuinely like the greatest thing in the world to me. And they swear it's not happening. That's the hilarious thing. They swear it's not happening, and yet it's happening. It's happening. Someone called Poison Control Hypno drank water. What? I always drink water. That's insane. All right, let's talk about this one. Let me make sure I have everything here. Yeah, there we go. All right. Thank God no live service God of War game. Dude. I'll explain it in the video. But I agree with you. All right, so if you guys are unaware, a recent studio by the name of Bend Studio, which is a very interesting name, has announced that they're laying off 30% of their staff. They announced this yesterday. And even though they announced this yesterday, they put out a statement today, which we're going to go over in this video, talking about why they did it. Now, here's the thing. If you guys don't know who Bend Studio is, which you probably don't, Bend Studio was actually working on 2 games, one of which nobody wanted and nobody asked for, which is usually how this stuff tends to go, except unfortunately we usually see the product release instead of it not being released. But Bend Studio works for Sony, by the way, and they were working on a live service God of War game. Why were they working on a live service God of War game? I could not even begin to tell you, because as far as I'm aware, nobody is asking for a live service God of War game. I don't even know how you would even begin to make that into a thing, but nobody wanted a live service God of War game. And thankfully, nobody's going to get it because the game's been canceled. They were also working on a live service military shooter, but we didn't know the name of it. It was just a live service military shooter. That's all we know. So they were working on not 1, but 2 live service video games. And they were working on both of them for Sony because God knows Sony loves their live service games. And even though their single player games far surpass pretty much all of their live service games, they are continuing to double down and triple down on live service slop because they feel like that's the easiest way to milk the gamer for as much money as they possibly can. So before we get into this video, guys, special shout out to the 89,700 of you that are watching this channel right now and subscribed, and the 50% plus that aren't subscribed. Consider hitting that sub, man. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, so Bend Studio laid off 30% of their staff, which you love to see. 30% of the staff yesterday, following the cancellation of its live service video games. In January, PlayStation canceled 2 projects. One was a live service God of War game, and the other was a live service military shooter led by the same studio. 2 weeks after the cancellation, Bend Studio let go of several contractors, and then in April, Bend Studio released Days Gone Remastered for PlayStation 5 and PC. The remaster introduced graphic and performance enhancements, blah, blah, all that stuff. But despite the new project, the studio is once again suffering layoffs. So, again, at this point, I don't know how many times we need to tell companies like Sony, but they just don't seem to get the message. And I think it's because there must be lower investment, I guess, involved or something along those lines when it comes to live service games. I guess live service games must be less risky to some extent because they keep trying to make them and they keep failing. I want to remind people, this is the company that Concord happened, and they're telling themselves, oh, we just took the biggest L in recent gaming history for everybody to see and make fun of us for. Oh, I know the answer. Let's double down and do the same exact fucking thing that got us laughed at in the first place. Let's make more live service games because that's what everybody wants, right? Everybody wants live service. No, that's not what everybody wants. But again, they don't want to listen. So let's talk about the layoffs. So Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, shout out to Jason Schreier, Mr. Get Woke, go to the top of the charts, reported that Sony's Bend Studio, which canceled a live service game earlier this year, is laying off 30% of the staff, which is around 40 people. Bloomberg News has learned the studio has been spinning up a new project following the cancellation. So they are, in fact, working on, I guess, a third game. But at this point, it really doesn't matter. It's probably going to be a lot smaller in scope compared to their first 2 games because now they're down 40 developers. It remains to be seen if that new Ben Studio project will continue following this latest round of layoffs. One fan asked in the comment section if the studio is at risk of being closed, and Jason Schreier responded, unlikely. They'd have laid off 30% of the staff if they were going to close the studio. Now, of course, I don't think they're going to close. I think at this point, what ends up happening is the studio never just closes outright. Very rarely does that happen. Sure, it'll happen to some studios, but usually those studios are massively in debt. They have a track record of failures. It's not their first rodeo, right? And at that point, they're deemed basically a high risk, and whoever owns them will close them. But let's talk about what the actual comment was, because Ben Studio has actually addressed the layoffs, and they put a statement on social media after firing 40 developers. Let's see what they had to say. So they said, today we said goodbye to some incredibly talented teammates as we transition to our next project. We're deeply thankful for their contributions as they've shaped who we are, and their impact will always be part of our story. Gee, it's so emotional. It's one of these things where it's like, wow, you would think that they're damn near in relationships at this point. They always say the same thing. We love the people. We love everybody that we're firing, but just for some reason we chose these 40 and not the other 40. But yeah, we love them. We love these people. This is a difficult moment for our team. What, you got a death in the family or something? But we hold immense respect for everyone who got us here. As we move forward, we remain committed to building the future of Ben Studio with creativity, passion, and innovation in the titles that we craft. Now, here's the amazing thing, right? So they say they have immense respect for everyone who got them here, but I'm sure the 40% that you chose to fire, that you had less respect for, which is the reason why you fired them, I'm sure they're not exactly feeling very respected right now since, you chose to let them go. But it's not known what Ben Studio is working on as it enters this stressful time for the team. Most recently, the studio released Days Gone Remastered, which we spoke about earlier in the video. And historically, the studio has worked on a relatively small selection of games, with the company's brand being dominated for many years by Siphon Filter, a series that spanned 1999 to 2007, which, by the way, super based game. I don't know if you guys have ever played Siphon Filter, but I loved that series. Fantastic. And I'm not surprised to see a studio that is known for that, unfortunately, go this way and get felted to this magnitude. But this is where we are. If you are owned by Sony, chances are you're going to have to go down the live service rabbit hole at some point in time. It's only a matter of time, and it's sad, but this is where we're at. Most of the studios that have decided to try to do something live service oriented for Sony have ended up either laid off or completely shut down, which at this point, it's like, what are we doing? Why are you going to continue going down this rabbit hole? Go back to single player games. This is what you were good at. This is what you are known for. Your single player experiences are what most gamers are looking for. Stop this nonsense. Also, Ben developed some PlayStation-based handheld titles like Resistance Retribution, Uncharted Golden Abyss, which I liked Uncharted Golden Abyss for the PlayStation Portable, and Uncharted Fight for Fortune. The consensus going forward is that if Siphon Filter isn't being revisited and Days Gone isn't getting a sequel, Ben Studio must be working on a new IP. Either that or it's preparing to reboot Bubsy 3D, a stellar platformer from 1996. That's a new personal favorite of our Mike Straw. Yeah, I highly doubt that. A struggling studio is not going to reboot a fucking platformer unless it was one of the most amazing platformers ever and heavily well known. I highly doubt that. Chances are they're going to go revisit Siphon Filter. I gotta imagine they're going to revisit that franchise. If anything is going to bring Ben Studio back to the limelight, it's if they can create a modern, well done and crafted version of Siphon Filter. That's how they would make this happen, right? Either you remake it completely or you remaster it properly. That's the only way you're going to make any sort of money and come back. Otherwise, it's not going to be Bugsby. Why would you even... I swear, man, Insider Gaming is filled with some of the most stupid journalists, but they're like train wrecks. I can't look away. I look at their articles and I laugh at half the stupid things that they say. So ultimately, we have a story here of another studio that has effed around and found out, and whether or not it's their fault or not, doesn't really matter because they're going to take the layoffs regardless of whether or not it's their fault. We cannot ignore the heavy play that Sony has to play with this because in the constant chasing of live service titles, they have sacrificed a multitude of developers from multiple studios for stupid projects that everybody with a brain can clearly see was not going to be successful. Why would you think a live service God of War would be something anybody asked for is beyond me. And yet they're the ones that are in control of these studios, unfortunately for them. So you can let me know in the comments down below what you think about this story. Do you think Ben's studio is going to bring back Siphon Filter, or do you think they're going to end up closing down because they are cooked? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Man, this shit is amazing. I mean, this is just at this point, guys, I think they're bringing back Siphon Filter. I think that's what they're going to do. If they're working on a third game, I think it's going to be Siphon Filter. The IP, hold on, where'd that comment go? Shit, I missed it. No. Burt Dag, I'm sorry. It says IP is overvalued. The team has to be good. The game has to be good. I've never heard of Clay Obscure before in my life. Yeah, so see, that's the thing. Even if they bring back Siphon Filter, right? Even if they bring back Siphon Filter, it doesn't matter because chances are the people who made Siphon Filter no longer work there. They no longer work there. So it really does not matter whether or not they bring it back. All that matters is whether or not they actually do the game properly. Whether it's a completely, from the ground up kind of game, or is it a remake or whatever the case may be. That's basically it. But this franchise has been gone for so long. It will definitely have some pretty strong nostalgia with some people if they were to announce a Siphon Filter game. But it all comes down to whether or not they're staying true to what made Siphon Filter a great game to begin with, right? So it all depends on who makes it. But at this point, I would not be surprised if you guys within the next 6 months hear about even more layoffs. If they announce that they're canceling the third project that they're working on, the studio's done. It's done. It is done. At this point, do you really want a new Siphon Filter given the state of game? Oh, okay, so for me, I don't care. I don't want a new Siphon Filter. I don't. It's like it's something that I can live without. I don't need Siphon Filter. But the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because if Ben's studio is going to come back with anything, I would imagine it's going to be a Siphon Filter game. I don't see how a new IP from Ben's studio is going to save the studio. Unless it's an IP that Sony owns, but it's something that Ben's studio has never worked on, which would have been a God of War game. Not necessarily live service, but it would have been a God of War game. But they're just not, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's the only way that they're going to have any chance of coming back. So at this point, man, Siphon Filter's trash. Oh, I'm hurt by that. Bro. Siphon Filter is legendary, man. Siphon Filter is a sign of its times. Obviously, Splinter Cell is better, but Siphon Filter being trash? That hurts. But I respect it. Gabe Logan versus Sam Fisher fight. That would be amazing. No, I'm not going to ban him for that. You crazy? Lone everybody's saying banned. No, I'm not going to do that. Siphon Filter did have a lot of games. Yes, Siphon Filter had a lot of games for sure. And I remember people arguing between Siphon Filter and Splinter Cell. I remember people arguing all the time. I remember there being magazines talking about both of these games because they were that good. But yeah, obviously Splinter Cell is the more modern one, and that's the one most people know and most people love. So, all right, let's cancel this out. Let's catch up on Super Chats, and then we're going to get into the next topic. We got Old Man Cad. Oh, I already read this one. Sorry. We got Rumble. Let me go over to Rumble really quick. We got Deadeye's Lock for $1. We got Good Burger, Propaganda Bucket, and Cess Bucket, where the shittiest may apply. That sounds about right. That sounds like the entire gaming industry right now. Anti-Federalist Pain with a 5. Live service / MMO only need 1 hit. Then they can milk it and leave behind most game development. Look at Rockstar. People can fly Bungie until they burn Destiny. 1 hit and failures don't matter. Yeah, I mean, listen, I get that. I get that. I think live service is the less riskier of the two. MMORPGs are a lot more risky because they take a lot more time and a lot more investment and a lot more manpower to maintain versus a live service game like Helldivers 2. You know what I mean? It's completely different. Completely different. We got Anti-Federalist playing with a 2. Siphon Filter is the granddaddy of stealth action. I love that taser. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, I would love to see a well done, properly done Siphon Filter, but let's be real. What is the chances of that actually happening? Seriously, I think we can honestly expect to see pigs fly at this point. Seriously, I think we can expect to see that. Holy shit, we needed that, boys. We needed that. We were so far behind. I think we are getting closer now to tier 1 because the legend, the absolute fucking boss, the legend, our cuz, dropped a 20. Goddamn, man. 20 membership mega banger. Shout out to our cuz, man. I gave you the extended clip because that was the first mega banger of the night. I appreciate you. Much love to you, man, for that. Holy shit. That's insane. That's insane. This man pulled a Mr. Rouge for a moment there. Shout out to our cuz. Thank you, brother. And then we got Benjamin with a 2 banger. Says, I missed the opening, man. Can you please replay it? No. No, absolutely not. But I love you anyway. Let's check up on Stellar Blade in between. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. Stellar Blade, god damn. God damn, Stellar Blade has officially surpassed 80,000 concurrent players 3 minutes ago. Wow. Wow, that is amazing. This shit's going up real fast, bro, especially considering it's not the weekend. That's crazy. How many people are you know what's crazy? It doesn't have that many viewers. You want to know why? Because so here's the thing, man. When it comes to games like this, everybody knows they're great games. Right? Everybody's excited for them. And at this point, people rather play it than watch it, which it's unfortunate because, people always say, oh, why don't you, play good games, Don't play this woke slop. Don't play it. But the simple fact is that you get more viewers, you get more engagement when you play the games that people are a little bit put off by, or they're unsure about buying. But a game like this where everybody knows they're going to buy it, yeah, most people don't watch it. That's just how it goes. But that's because the game's amazing. Like, let's check Mind's Eye. I guarantee you Mind's Eye has a bigger number than Stellar Blade right now. Let me see. Let me see if I'm talking out of my ass. Let's see. The last 24 hours, I had 34,000. Yesterday, Mind's Eye had 138,000. Now, the only thing you got to keep in mind is that Stellar Blade was, it's not a new game. It's not a new IP. It just released on PC, so it's totally different. Mind's Eye just came out, obviously. But I will say that there are more people watching Stellar Blade right now than there are watching Mind's Eye. Keep that in mind. Look at how hard this is dipped. 138,000 yesterday. And now it dropped 100,000 in 24 hours. And now it dropped 30,000 today. So in 2 days, in 3 days, what's about to be 3 days, this game dropped 135,000 viewers. Wow. That is insane. I am not surprised. I'm not surprised. Holy shit. Oh my God, bro. Look at the reviews. 41.69% are positive. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is bad. This is bad. Oof. Yeah. Yeah. You know what's sad? This game had potential. It really did. It really did. It had potential. As I'm playing the game, I can see so many things that stand out as potential positives, but it is completely inundated with bullshit. It is inundated with absolute bullshit. I mean, the game doesn't even have a dedicated fucking jump button, for Christ's sake. You can't jump in the game. You can't jump in the game. That still blows my mind. Like, you have no dedicated jump button in a third-person shooter. What the fuck? Anyway, I'll save that for Griffcast. I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm not gonna bring it up. All right, let's get to the topic of Chris Kindred. Let's get to Chrissy. Let's see how Chrissy's doing, man. Let's move over here. Shout out to Master the TDS. You're going to be a tweet that I reference, my guy. That's assuming you're still watching. You knew the game was woke when you saw the trailer? Honestly, bro, I don't even think the game is that woke. I think the game is, I mean, aside from like the girl boss fucking black girl that yells at you nonstop, I mean, the game is pretty straightforward. I think the game has a lot bigger concerns and a lot bigger problems than anything potentially woke. But I'll keep that for my review of the game. I'll keep that for my review because there's way worse things. Anyway. All right, so let's get into this topic, boys. Let's talk about good old Chrissy boy. Let's talk about Chrissy boy. All right, so if you guys are unaware, apparently Chris Kindred, the man who literally started Gamergate 2.0. And when I say man, I say it with a asterisk at the top because we are quite unsure over what they may be, but let's just go with the man. Chris Kindred, apparently, according to Master the TDS over on Twitter, shout out to Master the TDS. I will link this post in the pinned comment of this video and in the description so you guys can go to this post and check it out. According to Master the TDS, we have finally confirmation over a rumor that we've been talking about for a while. We've been talking about Chris Kindred potentially being fired from Sweet Baby Inc. for a long time. And now we finally have that confirmation because Master the TDS says, looks like an old friend of Cabrutus and Smash JT has finally admitted what we all knew. Chris Kindred, formerly of Sweet Baby Inc., is now officially looking for work. So before we get into this video, guys, special shout out to all of you 89,700 plus legends that are subscribed to this channel and the 50% of you that are not subscribed. Consider hitting that subscribe button today. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's dive into this tweet. Now, again, this is something that we've known for a while, right? I mean, and when I say known, I mean like internally us speaking in videos and whatnot and the rumor mills and everything like that. I know Master the TDS and Smash have talked about this in the past. But we needed confirmation. And I always thought that we weren't getting confirmation because they never wanted to give the chuds that level of ammunition. I feel like they were holding off on this for a long time and keeping up the facade for as long as humanly possible. I would almost guarantee that Chris Kindred has been fired from SBI for a long time now, and we're only finding out about it now because, well, he can't lie about it anymore. Kim Belair is probably like, hey, dude, we covered you for like 6 months now. You kind of got to take us out of your bio at some point in time, but we could still talk about it. But in any case, so Master the TDS screenshotted this, and it says, Chris Kindred, narrative designer. I'm assuming this might be from either Blue Sky or LinkedIn. I'm not sure. I'm going to assume LinkedIn because he has this stupid open for work thing, which all the LinkedIn people do. But he says, now that I'm situated after teaching game design at Pratt this past spring, I'm open for projects. If you have a game or interactive project that needs additional writing, extra game design know-how, or unique socio-cultural perspective, let's get in touch. So apparently, according to Chris Kindred, he was working at Pratt, which I guess is a teaching job at some sort of school, and he's been doing it for the entire spring, the past spring. So I don't know when this guy got fired, to be honest with you, but I gotta imagine it's been a while, which means that he has purposely been keeping SBI in his bio for as long as humanly possible. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does he offer? Let's look at what he's got to offer. Chris Kindred is open for projects, according to the picture, and he's offering script writing, design consultation, sensitivity reading. Oh, that's everybody's favorite. That's everybody's favorite, sensitivity reading. Yay. Yay. That is like sensitivity reading. This is the kind of person that wants to do sensitivity reading on a game like Silent Hill F. That's the level of ridiculousness we're dealing with here. Also, dialogue writing. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware, but considering the amount of work that Chris Kindred has had, and his name was in the credits for a lot of projects that have been yelled at for their terrible dialogue, I don't know if you necessarily want to hire this guy. Oh, let me drink water. I had to pause for water. God. Ugh. All right. So, in any case, let's double back. So, now I find it interesting, number one, that he put his contact in this. Now, for somebody who claims to be getting harassed so much, the fact that you put your website contact in there, I just find it to be odd. I find it to be odd. But at this point, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. So, now we have another post here from Master of the TDS confirming what we all just talked about, which is Chris Kindred no longer lists working for Sweet Baby Inc. in his Twitter bio. Keep in mind, this is how Chris Kindred has had his Twitter page for like the longest time. He's had it for literally the longest time like this. And now, if you look at it now, it's gone. It's completely gone. It went from narrative designer baby, I don't know, okay, narrative designer baby, whatever that means, at Sweet Baby Inc., to now writer, game designer, and educator, represented by Comics is People, apparently. So, hot dog joint is where he works at. That's interesting. So, at this point, like I said, guys, this is one of the strangest stories because normally when somebody gets fired from a company, they're usually immediately going to LinkedIn and they're like, hashtag ready for work, all this nonsense. But now with this particular guy, I'm telling you right now, there is no doubt in my mind that Sweet Baby Inc., mostly Kim Belair, but let's just say Sweet Baby Inc. as a whole, as a company, there's no doubt in my mind that they watch content like mine, Master the TDS, especially Master the TDS. They have like a hard on for him. Smash JT, right? They watch all of our content And you mean to tell me that they wouldn't do something like hiding the fact that they fired the person that started Gamergate 2.0 in the first place? Of course they would, right? At least in my opinion, of course they would. There's no way that they would want this information to be public, especially if it happened a long time ago. They would want to keep it non-public for as long as they possibly could. But at this point, considering that people are investigating this company and continuously looking into it, I wouldn't be surprised if this went one of two ways, where it's Kim Belair saying, hey, dude, you got to take us out your bio. It's been XYZ amount of time. People still think you're associated with us. It's time to part ways. Or it could be Chris Kindred saying that he wants to walk away from SBI. He wants to get, he wants to remove himself from the image of SBI because he's constantly being, I guess, haunted by it. Because he was the one that did it. He was the one that did it. This person, I want to reiterate, this person is the one that started Gamergate 2.0. And I know people like Alyssa Mercante and Jason Schreier and all these journalists out there want to convince you that it was Cabrutus that started Gamergate 2.0. It was Sweet Baby Inc. Detected that started Gamergate 2.0. They're just innocent. They're innocent. Sweet Baby's innocent. It's like, listen, man, this story, everybody knows is bullshit. And you've been pushing this story for over a year. And you are consistently trying to convince people that this is true. And less people are believing you as time goes on. You have barely anybody in your corner at this point believing anything that you say over how Gamergate 2.0 started. We all know the truth at this point. So now we have a full circle story where we have the originator of Gamergate 2.0 getting fired from the company that essentially started all of this, right? Because the funny thing is, there's one good thing that came out from Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I want you guys to remember that game was a trash game. It lost Warner Brothers $200 million. But you know what that game did do? That game informed us and led us one way or another to Sweet Baby Inc. And keep in mind, I need to reiterate because we have a lot of people that watch these videos and they comment and they say, oh, they're not the only ones. Obviously, I want to make it very clear that Sweet Baby Inc. is far from the only company that does the shit that they do. But they are the ones who did start Gamergate 2.0, and then they tried to cover it up with their journalists that they swore still had power to control the narrative and do the whole mainstream cover-up. They ran to their journalists, and the journalists couldn't wait to do damage control for this company, and that led to the eventual downfall that we know of as Gamergate 2.0. They really thought that they were going to be able to do it again. They're like, listen, we covered it up back in 2000, early 2000s, right? 2010, whatever. We covered it up during Gamergate 1. Don't worry, we're going to cover it up again. Wrong. Nope. Not happening anymore. So now we are here where he's looking for projects and looking for work. Now, is he going to get hired? Yep. Absolutely. He's going to get hired. No doubt about it. There's going to be some studio out there. There's going to be some company out there that is going to contract him. It seems as if Chris Kindred is running his own company now because now he wants to get hired solely himself for projects that have to do with script writing, design consultation, sensitivity reading, and all that stuff. He has his own website, chriskindred.com. So it looks like he's doing it all on his own. So he's not looking to work for any company. He's hoping he could get work on his own. Whether or not that's going to work or not, I guess time will tell. I feel like it's going to be a little bit odd to see his name all by itself on a credit roll, unless he gets, maybe he gets partnered with all the other consultants or something along those lines. But it seems like he is an independent contractor now, which again is so hilarious because Gamergate 2 has resulted in a lot of these former, part of the mainstream kind of people. A lot of them have now been forced to become independent contractors or they are becoming fake content creators where they're trying to pretend like they're Twitch streamers or they're YouTubers, only for them to realize that barely anybody watches them, no matter how much controversy they have. They're over here thinking controversy sells, but the simple fact is controversy only sells if people agree with you. If you're on the right side of that controversy, if you're on the bad side of that controversy, well, you end up like Chris Kindred. That's just how it goes. So you love to see it at this point. And like I said, I haven't spoken about Chris Kindred in, I don't even remember how long. I mean, it's been such a long time. I probably haven't spoken about Chris Kindred since the last rumor of him being fired by Sweet Baby Inc., which was months ago. But now we have confirmation from the person themselves that they no longer work for Sweet Baby Inc. And whether or not that was by the decision of Sweet Baby Inc. or Chris Kindred, we're never going to know. But I got to imagine it was probably Kim Belair. It was probably SBI that decided to say, you caused us so much shit. You are the reason why everybody on the internet hates us. You are the reason. If it wasn't for you exacerbating this, we probably would have never gotten Gamergate 2.0. To be real with you, I got to be real with you guys. People probably would have hated SBI, but nowhere near to this extent, right? Most people, you got to imagine that Sweet Baby Inc. Detected was a very, very small group before Chris Kindred tried to get them banned. They were a very small group. I think they only had like a few hundred people at most. And then Chris Kindred tries to get them banned, tries to get Kabrutus banned, tries to get Smash JT fired from his former job, all that stuff. And it goes from 400 people in the group to 500,000 or whatever the hell the number is at right now. It's insane. It's insane. And he cost SBI the shadows that they loved working from, which Kim Belair has openly admitted that she prefers to work in the shadows. Gee, I wonder why that is. So shout out to Chris Kindred. This is a blessing in disguise for a lot of reasons, because, you know, I feel like if it wasn't for Chris Kindred, all this stuff that we ended up discovering after the fact would have never came to light. And I feel like it's a good thing. So even though this started from something bad, it ended up resulting in a lot of good things for, you know, our particular side and the whole Gamergate 2 situation and whatnot. And now we just get to see what happens when it comes full circle. That's basically it. So you guys can let me know in the comments down below. What do you think his next job is going to be? Is he going to work at Walmart? Is he going to work at Target? I think he's from New York, so he's going to put the fries in the bag for someplace. Maybe McDonald's. Let me know in the comments down below. And chances are I'm going to put up a thumbnail for Chris Kindred with a McDonald's hat or something along those lines. Just because I feel like it. Why not? Why not? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do a McDonald's. I'm gonna do a McDonald's thumbnail for that one for sure. If anybody has a picture of Chris Kindred in a McDonald's hat, let me know. Let me know, because that would be great. He's gonna become a streetwalker. That's insane. Master the TDS says, I made an image of that. If you want it, I want it. I want it immediately. 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 Sebastian says, hey, no working while you stream. Hey, I do what I want. I'm sure it can be done. It probably can be done for sure. What about the waifu battle? It's coming. It's coming. Don't worry, GDR. It's coming. Put the fries in the bag. Why not fried chicken? He probably doesn't like fried chicken. You guys know Atreus doesn't like fried chicken. I'm telling you, man. I think Atreus is secretly white. He wears a cowboy hat. Right? He only messes with snow buddies. Yeah, Chris Kindred called Akira Toriyama racist. I know. Because he's an idiot. And he thinks that a character based on an Indian fucking god is a black character because it's black skin with pink lips. That honestly says a lot more about Chris Kindred than it does about Akira Toriyama. But that's neither here nor there. All right, let's catch up on Super Chats, boys. And then we're going to get into the waifu battle. Thank you again, our cuz, man, for the 20 banger. We got Super Kitty with the 1 membership. Thank you, Super Kitty. I appreciate you. We got Benjamin with a 2. Check Dune Awakening as well, please. I actually have Dune Awakening gifted to me. I don't have time to play a game like that. That's the problem. Let's see. Dune Awakening. How's this game doing? Let's see. Oh, wow. That is incredible. That is incredible. Jesus. 142,000 all-time concurrent players. That is amazing. Is this game really that good? I hear people saying good things about this game. Is it really that good? That's wild. Not bad at all. Not bad at all, man. Jason Altor with a 5. Chris needs a new job. Put the fries in the bag. He is so radioactive, no one will hire him. Well, see, that's the thing. I think this is why he is focusing on just doing his own thing instead of working for a company. I think this is why. Personally. Scooby Pup with a 5. I see Chris K, and I swear he looks like the chick from Wicked. That's true. That's true. You might be onto something. Blackguard with a 5. Kim probably let him go because there can only be one boss bitch at SBI in the end. Now he is free to infect another game studio with his terrible ideas. I don't think he's going to work for a game studio. I think he's going to be an independent contractor. I think he's going to work for himself. Next is Nocturne for a 2. Ba-da-da-dum. I'm done with this. Chris K. Makes sense. Angmar for 189. Hypno use an image using the McDowell hat. LOL. Oh my God. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Okay, I'm going to test Master the TDS right now because he just sent me a super chat. I know he's in here. Master the TDS, you got 30 seconds to answer this. You can't cheat. Do you know what the McDowell hat is? Do you know what the McDowell hat is? Nope. Wow. Oh, man. You don't know what the McDowell hat is? Uncultured confirmed. Uncultured confirmed. All right, hold on. So if you don't know what the McDowell hat is, do you know what this is? Hold on. Do you know what this is? Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Hold on. Do you know what this is? Grew up in an Orthodox Jewish community? That's no excuse. Do you know what this is? Nope. Fuck! You don't know what this is? Oh, God damn it. Just let your soul glow, man. Just let it shine through. Come on. I can't even hit the fucking high note. I can't even hit the high note to do it properly. Soul glow. Come on, man. Oh, man. This hurts. This hurts, man. Listen, Master the TDS, your homework, if you choose to accept it with your wife, is to go watch. We really have no idea what you're talking about. It's okay. I'm going to tell you. Go watch Coming to America. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. One of the greatest movies. No, this is not The Last Dragon. This is not The Last Dragon. Stop it. It's Coming to America. Okay? Go watch that movie. It's a fantastic movie. It really is. It's also racially hilarious, so you might get a kick out of it. You might get a kick out of it. Also, if you tell the internet that you saw Coming to America, they might stop calling you racist. And skip the sequel. Yes, skip the sequel. Skip the sequel. No, seriously, it's a great movie. Go watch it. Go watch. It's fantastic. Eddie Murphy is amazing in that movie. Oh my God. So wait. So if you don't know this, that means do you know? Oh no. Do you know this? Hold on. Wait. Let me see. Hold on. Do you know this? You gotta know this. You gotta know this. Come on. Hold on. Hold on. I got something for you right now. Hold on. You gotta know this, bro. Come on. When it's become 20 questions? I don't know, bro. Come on, man. Just go with it. Just go with it. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Come on. This is one of the greatest scenes in movie history. Come on, man. Come on. You got literal blackface. Come on. Literal blackface. All the people in the chat who have the answer, you guys are my spirit animals, and I love you. I love you guys. I love you guys. Shit, I don't even know that one. Oh, Blackguard. Come on. Come on. It's one of the greatest movies of all time from Eddie Murphy. Trading Places, man. Added to the list. Added to the list. You feel old now? It's okay. Embrace it. Let the knees click. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. No, really, what is that? It's called Trading Places. Go watch that movie. You want to talk about racial stereotypes? It's fantastic. Go watch that movie. I can't explain to you how epic they are. You have to watch it in your free time, whenever you can. Whenever you can. I know you guys are too busy busting down the door of consultancy firms, so I appreciate it. Let the knees click, laugh. Yeah, that's how it is. Cassie, that's how it is. That's how it is. Don't try to sit there and pretend like when you get up after your 8-hour streams, your shit is not a Rice Krispie. Let's not pretend you're not snap, crackle, and popping up in that bitch. You got Ziggy thinking he got snacks, but little does he know it's your knees. You know it's true. You know it's true. Come on. All right, boys. Listen. Let's get into the waifu battle, man. Let's get into the waifu battle. But hold on. We got Kyle B becoming a member. Shout out to Kyle B. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We got Master the TDS for $189. You didn't have to super chat that, man. Check your DMs. Gave you 2 images. Oh, let me see. I'll check. I said you sent money. I'll check them live. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. What do we got? Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. This is insane. This is literally insane.
Holy shit.
This is insane. Wow. Hold on. Wait, it gets better. Somehow it gets better. Wait, it gets better. Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Oh my God. This is wild. This one is wild, bro. I think this is gonna be it. This is gonna be it. This is gonna be the one for the thumbnail. Yep. That's great. Wow, dude. Holy shit. Eric Jenkins, 189, the intro to a 1978 Corno. Yeah. Sure. GDR with a 5. I pogo sticked my way out of hell using my schlong to vote out Android 18 in a waifu battle. Did you really? Oh, man. I can only... Okay, well, listen, good luck. I mean, because she's the champion still, GDR, so we're about to find out whether or not it's about to go down. All right. Shout out to Master the TDS. Thank you, brother, for the pictures. I'm definitely using that second one with your permission. I appreciate it. That is legendary. And good find with the Chris Kindred stuff, man. You guys are on top of this shit. I appreciate it. All right. let's get into the waifu battle, ladies and gentlemen. We covered all the topics we were going to cover today. I just want to make sure. Yes, we covered everything. I was going to talk about Nintendo, but fuck Nintendo. That's basically it. All right, waifu battle. Let's All right, boys. The waifu battle is here, but really quick, we got 2 gifted memberships from Anti-Federalist Pain over on Rumble. So I just wanted to give a quick thank you and shout out to Anti-Federalist Pain. You didn't have to, but you did. And I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. All right, let's get into the waifu battle. So, GDR, I don't know if he's still here, but here's your moment to shine in a few minutes. If you guys are unaware, over the last couple of waifu battles, Eve got felted, and Android 18 has been absolutely dominating. Literally dominating in the waifu battle, ladies and gentlemen. It's been pretty insane. It's been pretty insane. So before we bring out the challenger, let's go over the rules of engagement and see what is going on. Rule number 1. All super chats during the waifu battle can and will count towards a particular waifu, but the only way it's going to count is if you put the name of the waifu in the super chat first. It's got to be first. If you don't put the name of the waifu in the super chat first, then it will not count. It doesn't matter how big they are. GDR, I brought back Mount Lady the other day, and she lost. She lost. I just brought her back, like, I think yesterday, and she lost. If you super chat after the fact that you put the name of the wife you forgot to put the first time, then I will make it count. Oh my God, bro, she's gooning. Bro, gooning. Look at this gooning. Gooning. Jesus Christ. Didn't even wait. Didn't even wait. Oh my God. Anyway. You can vote for any wife regardless of who's on the screen. It does not matter. You can vote for the champion, who is Android 18, or you can vote for the challenger, who you're about to find out. It does not matter who's on screen at the time. Last but not least, after the second waifu comes off screen, I'm going to do a 30-second countdown. After that 30-second countdown, no more super chats are going to count. It doesn't matter how big they are. The last super chat that shows up on my screen will be the one that counts. So please, if you are going to vote, vote early and vote hard, ladies and gentlemen. Do we understand the rules? Probably not. Let's be real. Probably not. All right, guys, listen. We got ourselves an interesting matchup that's about to go down today. Okay? It's about to go down today. Like I told you guys, there's no rules, man. There's no rules this month in the waifu battle, aside from the 3 that were mentioned. You can have former champions show up at any time. Anytime. You can have brand new waifu show up at any time. And today, we're going to test and see if Android 18 can survive the onslaught that is about to come from a waifu that surprisingly had a very long streak last time she was in the waifu battle. I still don't understand how she did it. I still don't understand how she did it. But regardless, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger that's going to go up against Android 18 is going to be none other than the one and the only Fearin. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start the clock and let's see who is going to win. I'm going to put the names on the bottom right now. Hold on. I got to make sure I spell it right. I'm going to put the names on the bottom right now. Click save and hit it. There we go. We got Who this? You don't know who Freeman is? Oh my god. Literally who? Are you serious? Are you serious? This is Granny Waifu. This is Granny Waifu. How do you not know? It's Elf versus Android. Exactly. Fearin Rot. Why? Because surprisingly, she had a very long streak last time. I still don't know how that's even possible, to be honest with you. She had a fucking like week-long streak or something like that. I'm trying to see if she could beat Android 18. Anyway, before we read this one, we had to get the early Gooner. Still Bullet Like It with a 10 says Android 18. I mean, I might have gooned a bit early. Sorry. You think? You think? Next is Nocturne with a 5. Android 18. Fearin is working magic, though. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sure she appreciates that as well. Nobody likes elves? I guess not. Bad matchup? I guess we'll see. Fearin tits are too big? That's not my fault. That's the fault of AI and the pictures that you guys post. That's not my fault. Dragon with a 5. Fearin, I love my elves. Gonna vote 18 in a little bit. Are you? You sure about that? Blackguard with a $20 banger says Android 18. Get this sassy elf child out of here. Fearin is awesome, but she ain't beating Android 18. It looks like it. It looks like it's solidified. Thank you so much for the 20, Blackguard. I appreciate that. Silver Bullet Like It with a 5. Android 18. I had to go for the labs earlier. Also, as an elf gooner, I goon over Android 18 any day. All right. There we go. People are making their voices heard. We got Toxin with a 269. Android 18. Put Fearin back in the damn closet. Wow. That's insane. Isura says, why is everyone choosing 18 over Fearin? I don't know. Holy shit. He just shut up every single Dragon Ball fan. They were talking so much shit. Oh my, has the tables turned. It's not over, technically. It's only, to be fair, GDR is the only one who is voting. So technically, if you guys work together and stop getting so defeated early on, you might be able to take down GDR. But wow, that is insanity. That is, I didn't think it was going to be like that. That is insane. Holy fuck, GDR. He says, Fearin, I want her to see through my clothing. All right, boys. It is time to bring out the current Waifu Battle champion. And I don't know how long she's going to be champion, so this picture is going to give her the best shot she has. Can she rally the Dragon Ball fans? We'll find out. None other than Android 18, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start the clock, and let's see who is going to win. Is it going to be Android 18, who is down right now? Or is it going to be Fearin, who is heavily up right now? I guess we're going to find out. Dragon with a 5 says, Fearin, the dragon is not granting anyone wishes today. Oh. All fans talking shit. And now they're talking shit. This is wild. This is wild, bro. This is insane. Deadeye's Luck has a point. GDR is $100 away from being banned on YouTube for 48 hours. Keep that in mind. We got Invidious for a 2 on Rumble. Fearin, I usually vote for Android 18, but it looks like Fearin got the old pie Grimoire. Me liking this Opie sleeping elf. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. GDR is literally trying to solidify this victory single-handedly. Single-handedly. GDR for $50 Mega Banger says Fearin won't see anything small in my pants. That's insane. That is insane, bro. Wow. Wow. Silver Bullet Lycan with a 5. Android 18, she makes me brick for one smoking hot Android. Why? I don't know. You don't gotta explain it. It's all good. I understand. It's Suda with a 5. Fearin elf rules over androids. Now they're starting to come out, boys. The Fearin fans are starting to come out. Hypno's cat for a 2. Fearin, this is a gilf I can get on top of. Oh, boys. Is this it for Android 18? Are we seriously just going to let her get felted like this? GDR is nearly at his cap. He's nearly at his cap. What is going on, Dragon Ball fans? You guys vote so hard for her every day. Are you guys literally nervous? Are your power levels that low? That all it takes is for Vegeta to show up, for Goku to want to give up? Since when does Goku give up? Since when does Goku give up, man? Come on, what are we doing? Pikachu with 3218 of whatever the hell CLP is. Android 18. If it was Fern, I'd go for her because of Maple Star. Okay, I'll shut up now. Fair enough, Pikachu. Fair enough. Hypno's dog for a 2. Fearin, I love her chocolate cookies. Fair enough. Cole Classic Cage says Bulma is best DBZ waifu anyway. Not according to the history. Bulma gets felted every time I bring her to the screen. It's actually kind of sad. It's actually kind of sad. Damn, not even Rumble is voting for 18. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. Android 18 is going to need some like major saving, some major troll. I don't know if anybody has it in them, but I doubt it. GDR for a 20 says Fearin is my new Mount Lady. I love Fearin more. Oh my God. This is it. This is literally it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. Dragon with a 10 saying Fearin. My scooter says 9,000. All right, well, I guess GDR showed the Dragon Ball fans what their power level really was. That's basically it. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Yep, that went exactly how I thought it was going to go. GDR has literally shut down the entire chat, and they decided to let Android 18 just go right off the cliff. Right off the cliff. Mods, count it up. That should be very easy to count. Count it up. Where's the chair shots? GDR, they gave up, man. How weak? Yeah, they gave up, man. They gave up. Kind of sad. They gave up. People don't realize, like, you can beat somebody who's trying to power their way through. YouTube has a ban on the number. After a certain point, it should be pretty easy to beat them. We've done it before, but hey, people gave up, man. Eric Jenkins 189 says Piranha Pal. People rather troll Super Chat than vote for Android 18. RIP, man. Android 18 didn't deserve to go out like that. It's kind of sad, but this is where we're at. This is where we're at, man. We had some people try. You know, Blackguard tried. A couple people tried. They definitely tried. I just thought people were going to help Blackguard. I guess not. Everybody and their mother was voting for Android 18 before. But I guess not so much anymore. Not so much anymore. Classic Cage says, Videl is the queen in my heart. LOL, gotta support the tomboy. That's fair. I can see why you would do that. I can see why you would do that. The Android should have lost against Eve. I agree. I think Eve should have beat Android 18 because I think Eve would have been fought for harder against Firin than Android 18, to be honest with you. But that's me personally. My own. That's my headcanon that I got going on right now. Mods are still counting it up. Let them count it up. And then we're going to see who obviously won this one. DBZ is the best over GT. Sorry, Hypnotic. I mean, I don't doubt that. The numbers are in, and they're not going to shock literally anybody. Android 18 with $51.13 against Firin with $501.72, which means the winner and the new Waifu Battle champion with the ultimate felting, the likes of which we haven't seen in a while, is none other than Firin, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness, great. Destroy. Absolutely destroyed. Let's do it one more time. Let's go. And at this point, I would say people are coping and seething, but since not that many people voted for Android 18, I don't think many people are coping. Or maybe they just didn't vote. I don't know. There's somebody coping though.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
And that is it for the Waifu Battle, ladies and gentlemen. Firin's going to go backstage, but she will face off against another waifu tomorrow. Hypnocast, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's see. We got Blackguard saying Firin's longest win streak is 3, and tonight is her largest amount in donos. There you go. The lore of the Waifu Battle. I love it. You love to see it. All right, let's see something. So we got let me check Rumble really quick. No, we are caught up. Okay, we're caught up everywhere. All right, guys, listen, thank you so much for the amazing stream. Shout out to everybody for liking the stream, commenting, spamming the chat, super chatting, gifting games, everything. If I could get my videos edited in time, I'll do another Griffcast tonight. So stay tuned for that. If I do decide to do it, we'll be continuing Mind's Eye because I want to complete that game as fast as possible. So if I could just, kind of burn through it, that would be preferable. And shout out to the Hypno Mods for doing what they do every single day. Appreciate you guys as well. Hypno Dog said, for 5, Father, I'm open to work as a security guard. I am bright, funny, great with kids, especially kindergartners. What do you think? Will I get hired this time? No, stay away from kindergarten, man. That's a bad dog. All right, guys. Thank you so much for everything. You guys are absolutely insane in all the best ways. We're going to raid someone right after this, so stick around to the end. It's only going to be a few minutes. What happened to Stellar Blade? I'm going to finish Mind's Eye first and then do Stellar Blade after, because the chat voted on it yesterday, and they said they wanted to see Mind's Eye. So, which to be honest, which to be fair with you, is true. because we had the most viewers that we've had in Grifcast for a long time while playing Mind's Eye. I guarantee we wouldn't have gotten half of those amount of viewers playing Stellar Blade. So I'm just saying, if you want to see games that you enjoy, try to get support for it as much as possible. But no, the only reason why it happened, I don't care about the viewers. The only reason why it happened is because people voted for Mind's Eye yesterday, and I shockingly lost by like 4%. So Mind's Eye was first. Anyway, thank you guys so much for everything. I appreciate you. I did read your Rumble rant. I did. I said Invidious. I did. I read your Rumble rant. Unless there's a new one. Yeah, no, I read that one. Me likey this Opie Sleepy Elf. I read that one. I got you, brother. We're going to raid someone after this, so stick around to the very end. What time is Grifcast? I don't know. Probably an hour from now, so we'll see. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, go be bigots and go be gooters. Speaking of gooter, this clip is for GDR. It is going to be an extended clip because he did an insane $400 Red Boy massive mega banger on top of a 50 and a 20. I mean, this guy's insane. This guy's insane. And even though everybody wants to bend the knee to him and not fight him back, we need to show him the respect he deserves. Thank you, GDR, for the insane donos and everybody else. And I'll see you in the next one. Next time, go be bigots, go be gooners. Bye.
I bring I bring light. I bring light.